Welcome
to the Yes Anthem podcast with your hosts, Kat London
and Rich Aveo.
What's the Yes Anthem?
The Yes Anthem is the inner desire to find the beautiful things in life.
If everyone sang their Yes Anthem out loud, we'd all sing in harmony.
The Yes Anthem wishes you the courage to like what you like,
Choose what you want,
and trust what you love.
Enjoy the episode.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Kat.
Hey, Rich. Welcome to the Yes Anthem.
Welcome to the Yes Anthem. I have something I want to talk to you about today.
Oh, please tell me what you want to talk about.
So, last night, or maybe not last night, but yesterday, I received an email from a theater.
Ooh.
Okay, and
Yes. Random? No, the
let
one
me
that
let me back up for a second. I want to make sure I have my head's racing with this. I'm trying to maintain I want to get my composure when I tell you this story.
Yeah.
Yesterday I received a text.
Yes.
From a theater. Now I had been in talks with this theater about an upcoming event.
And I knew about this because a few months ago
they reached out to me a couple months ago.
Yeah.
The timing of that is immaterial.
No.
Okay, here's what happened.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I have a history with this theater.
Yeah.
I had put up multiple shows there successfully.
Yeah.
Had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
They're wonderful people, so there's a lot of good history here.
Much, and that's the point.
This is the essence from which I'm coming when I tell this story. There's no animosity here at all, but I just want to tell you a story and I want to give you the facts.
Okay.
So what happened is now, obviously, as a lot of local theaters go, they need funding.
Yeah.
Right? You know, investors keep local communities, art communities alive. And
Yes.
we've talked about this on previous pods. Support, the Helena R. Dodge Foundation, and which is a real thing.
Well, if they are a nonprofit, I mean, that's what, like Paper Mill Playhouse, they sell, like, would you like to work at Paper Mill? It's subscriptions.
And
what
packages,
it is it comes with tickets. Tickets to every single show at a discounted price if you buy a subscription.
Correct. So the event that's happening at this theater, it's a gala.
Yeah.
And it is going to be for the investor community.
To get money.
Yes. To keep the community of investors that keeps this theater thriving. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're inviting them to an event.
Very nice.
And they're going to wine them and dine them, and they're going to give them a dope show.
Cool.
And, after all is said and done, it's supposed to kind of inspire these investors to either keep investing or start investing. Some of these investors have never set foot in the theater before.
Could you imagine, you're probably invited a plus one.
Maybe,
so,
perhaps,
they want to make money,
So, up comes my name.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Let's have Rich
do the
host and MC this event.
Cool. And
do his impressionable show.
Nice. Yes.
Okay. So,
the whole time?
No, it's for a portion of it.
Yeah.
There's going to be like a dinner reception that goes on, and then they're going to all come in the theater and
in that big room. Yeah.
The theater. So that's what they need from me.
Okay.
They would like to hire me to kind of control and run this event.
I've been to events like that before.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what galas are.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done dozens of these things, and you have a host.
I've even been on the guest of those things.
Yes,
so
of course.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of similar to having an actor of sorts host the Grammys or something. It's
comedian.
You're keeping the crowd engaged so that they're invested in this.
Well, that's nice
event.
that they asked you.
I'm moved.
Yeah.
Okay, so now all good. I'm like, wow, yes, this was months ago. I'm free.
Yeah.
Let's talk through the details. Cool. We're still putting some things together. Naturally, it's not till next year, so we have, it's cool. They just want to know if I have the date available and if I'm interested in doing it.
Cool.
Very interested. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road, okay? What do you want to make for this?
They asked you.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, because of my longstanding history with them,
right.
If I'm being honest, and I think a lot of artists can relate, you don't know exactly where they stand and where you stand when you have a relationship with somebody all the time, and you kind of want to be like, hey, this is like kind of an honor to be asked, number one. Number two, I like you guys. Number three, it's not all about me. So I can't I don't want to charge you as if it's all about me.
Right.
So you kind of have to do some inner dialogue and inner negotiating before you present the price. So I was just like, let me go at it like this because I know these people.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So it's a very small theater. It's adorable. And I said, so where is your budget on this?
That's where you start.
And we don't have to get into the numbers right now. We might at some point, but for the sake of the conversation, they hit me with a number. And I'm like, I can do that.
Yes.
Now, my gut, if they were a stranger,
Okay.
would have been a higher price.
It would be the actual valued. Yes, of course.
Yes. If someone
Yeah.
just randomly hit me up and was like, we want you to do this really important thing for us, you would have to charge accordingly because that's just how things work.
Yeah. And not to say that just because you have a relationship with a theater that you then give them the low price from here until eternity, this was just your opportunity to go, I can work with that.
I can work with
One
that.
opportunity.
And again, like most things, it's
One opportunity.
yeah, you get one shot.
One opportunity.
So, all right. So here's where we are now, right?
Okay.
Because I'm about to lose myself in this moment. The goal of this event
Yeah.
is to make money so the theater can stay open, right? And I'm helping with that,
Yeah.
right? So they hit me with a number.
You
I
said,
consider all the details, even including the last detail I just said. Okay,
Yeah.
the goal is make money, right? So
Sure.
Okay, great. Yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
Fast forward maybe a month and a half.
Okay.
This is yesterday.
This is yesterday.
And it is, hi, the board had a meeting.
On the phone?
Kat, I have no idea.
No. How did you find?
Text.
Okay.
I thought you meant how did the meeting take place? I received a text that said, hi, the board had a meeting. And they want to know if you can do this for $250 less than the price that we offered you. Because as it turns out, throwing a gala is quite expensive. And we have planners and we have food and
Wait
catering.
a second. They are you being sarcastic, or did they say we're struggling with catering to you as if that's like your thing?
They did say that to me, but full
Oh,
disclosure,
my God.
before you get worked up,
Okay.
full disclosure,
Yeah.
I am
'Cause that's not your
I am
responsibility.
friendly with this contact.
Okay, so you're just shooting the shit.
They're kind of going.
Don't shoot the messenger.
They're going.
Here's
They're kind of. Hey,
Yeah.
by the way, this is what we talked about. They're not holding it against me. This woman's very sweet, very nice. She's on my team.
Yeah.
Okay.
your contact. But the board.
The board is
board!
also on my team because they want me, but they're doing the thing, right? They're going.
$250 though.
That's what I'm saying. So now again, because I don't feel comfortable disclosing the amount of money that we're working on here.
Yeah.
Let's just say $250
$250 less is just enough to fathom that.
And yet,
I get it.
And yet also a random enough amount of money.
So random.
Where it's like, what the hell?
What are we saving on?
What are we
here?
doing here?
Was this a unanimous decision?
There's no decision yet.
Oh, okay.
This is just a meeting that happened. The budget was discussed.
They were like,
the numbers were crunched.
Could you ask him this?
Numbers were crunched, and they were just like, do you think maybe he can? So now,
just get it catered by a diner.
Whatever. I don't care who caters it. I actually, it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is this.
Okay.
The concept of pricing and value of art and entertainment.
Yep.
Specifically, in my case, music and entertainment.
Yeah.
Is a really difficult topic for consumers to understand. When you buy this thing,
Yeah.
some cafes charge this, some cafes charge that.
Yeah.
And
you're just,
because we're taking home a visible, tangible, drinkable thing that makes us feel all warm and fuzzy, we can do the inner dialogue and go, valuable.
Yeah, we could go like, I love the cup. Or,
whatever.
ooh, I love the way the oat milk goes into a swirly
Or I
swirl.
love the ambiance of the place.
I love the ambiance. I'll
the
pay
staff
$7
is
for
friendly.
it. Right, exactly.
They rock Nora Jones in this bitch. I want that coffee. All right?
Rock and Nora Jones, same sentence.
Nora Jones
Ready-
in this bitch
in
is
this
also
bitch.
a very
Dun, dun,
ting
dun,
ting
dun,
ting
dun,
ting
dun.
ting ting
Nora,
ting 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 ting
lay
ting,
it on
ting,
me
ting, ting,
thick.
ting, ting. Don't know why I saw
Jones.
the sun. Don't know why
Jones.
I didn't come.
Jones. Jones. I'm a musical improv comedian too, and I think I just nailed it.
Yeah, you killed it. So
So what did you say to this girl?
Well, so and this is why I want to talk about this on the podcast today.
Okay.
I've hit a point in my career. You and I have been talking a lot about overcoming a lot of obstacles, and we can get into this topic if we see fit. But
Yeah, like self-talk that makes you feel less than.
as we've
Sure.
been labeling the idea, it's being consumed by the dragon, which we can
Is what you
we
need.
can describe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we can
in a
describe
minute.
that.
But before we get into that,
Yeah.
what I said to this person was, it was my desire to not fight back.
Good.
But
Why?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'd rather educate them.
That is so you.
I would
That
rather
is so your style.
I would rather
But not in a condescending way.
education is not to be ever done in a condescending way.
You just rocked my heart right there. You are freaking right.
Yeah.
Because I think at a young age we're told like, oh, if anyone's schooling, just the word schooling.
Schooling
Oh, let me
you, yeah.
school you. Go
And we
fuck
talked
yourself.
about this on a
That's not
previous
good.
podcast where-
Education should be scrumptious. And if someone else is teaching you, it should be scrumptious. It shouldn't be hierarchical.
Yeah. On a previous podcast, we discussed the danger associated with it, with an arrogant or conceited
Teacher.
educator.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
I'm of
yep.
the belief that
Yeah.
education should never be done from a higher to a lower point.
Just
You're not punching down.
Just a truth.
It's-
Hi,
it's-
this is this.
It's this. It's information.
Yeah.
It's not advice. It's information. I am presenting you with information. You are then to make your own decisions, and you're to absorb this information how you see
And that's
fit.
because you felt you wanted to go about an educational way, which we'll get to, because you felt there was a lack of information going on. Because what if there wasn't?
There had to have been. If you're hiring a musician, and this is the apex of my conundrum here, okay? When you're hiring an artist to do a thing,
Indeed.
you are not purchasing a cup of fucking coffee.
Or a tennis racket.
You are purchasing an experience.
Okay.
And that experience is the service and the value.
Yeah.
It's nothing for you to take home. It's nothing for you to put on a shelf. It's nothing for you to consume.
Ribs for $15.
It's
a rack.
exactly. It's you're not gonna get the 2-for-1 sale on Tuesdays.
What do you mean by that?
Me?
Yeah.
What I mean by that is this: the position I took with the board
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to your response.
was, well, first of all, just allow me to remind you guys respectfully.
Okay.
Again,
Your response might actually explain this to me.
yeah. Allow me to remind you guys.
Very nice.
First of all, the purpose of this event.
Okay. This is
Right.
what did you text her this?
This was in an email, and I actually said, listen, we have to take this to email because I have to present the following points to you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's always better.
It is. You can't bullet point a text. It's just no go. Also, if they lose their phone or delete the text, it's like it never happened.
Yeah.
So,
Contracts.
yeah, well, it's more of a way for me to formulate my thoughts in a digestible way. So
Yeah.
what I basically said was, look, let's keep in mind first and foremost the purpose of this event.
Already, my stomach goes,
Yeah. The purpose of this event is to provide an unforgettable experience. So that
I'm melting.
your investors know and
Yes.
trust where their money is going.
You got to be excited if you're going to give money to anything.
Exactly.
I need to know that you guys are cranking out excitement.
You know my position
Yeah.
on music.
Yeah.
And for those of you listening, if you have not heard my position on music, it's this, or just art.
Okay.
Art elevates.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I'll have it tattooed across my chest. Art elevates, meaning when you are in an elevated state, you're open.
Yeah.
If you're not open, I don't care if someone's reading you the most beautiful poem you've ever heard in your life, if you're hearing the most gorgeous song you've ever heard in your life, if you're not open, you're not going to receive it. You can't force art on people.
Oh, so you're saying you got to be open prior to
You must be
experiencing art.
opened.
Oh,
And I think,
I will provide the opening.
correct, as an entertainer,
I am your can swirly to your tuna fish thing.
I'm preaching, man. I'm preaching. And pardon me while I preach for a sec, because I have to drop this science on our listeners here, because
Yeah, that's what it is, science.
not only do I think a lot of non-artistic people have trouble understanding this.
Okay.
I actually think a lot of artists have trouble understanding
Are
this.
you saying everyone might benefit from a little bit of
Yeah,
knowledge?
I am.
What if it was pronounced
knowledge. Oh man,
I think we would have to literally start over. Burn the earth to the ground.
knowledge
and grow
sounds
again.
like a
Knowledge is the
suburban
name-
kid's name.
Is like knowledge is one of the very finicky voiced like this characters in SpongeBob that comes in and bullies everybody. Oh, that's knowledge. Don't bother knowledge. I just want to voice act now.
That's yeah. It sounds like that's my friend John Knowledge.
Wasn't it? Oh, my last name.
Yeah, it just sounds like the name of a suburban kid.
It
or
would be
something.
John.
Knowledge sounds like you're just kind of hoarding information with no intention of helping fellow man.
That's right.
No ledge.
Yeah,
man.
Don't jump.
So you're writing
So,
this email to this woman.
I'm sending this email out now. The historical people pleaser in me.
Yeah.
I've been working really hard to. We've been working very hard. This is not all about me right now.
Of course, of course.
To dispel that and
Then I'll
to
resonate with it.
recognize that it serves no one. People pleasing is
Yeah.
actually people hurting.
Yes, because you're taking on their task.
You're taking on you're allowing people to do something harmful to themselves.
Huh.
Meaning, if someone asks something of you that's uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and you just yes them to death. Now, this is called the Yes Anthem, and I want to be clear.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes and
Yes.
does not necessarily mean allowing some bullshit to go down.
Yeah, correct. In fact, it's the opposite.
Yes, it's the opposite. It is hearing,
Hearing
absorbing,
and accepting the truth.
accepting the truth
And
of
that's
it.
the yesing the truth.
Right. And the
people
and-
think like they misconstrue yes man, like
Right.
the film, and
Yeah.
the film was
There's a lot
obviously
of phrases.
based on the phrase, "Oh, you're such a yes man."
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Not pleasing
Yeah.
in order to stay, because what you're doing is protecting
You're trying to stay
yourself.
safe.
Instead, you got to move toward the what was the resistance for you with this before you said to yourself, you know what? I think there might be a little room for education. Because I think we sidetracked, but you said your first sentence of this email was like, hey, what was it? I think there's...
Let me remind you.
Let me
with
remind
the
you.
events
Oh,
about-
yeah. Go ahead.
I don't think I had any resistance this
Okay,
time.
this time.
Historically speaking, and right now I'm speaking to our fellow artists out there who have received the inevitable request to do something for either free
Right.
or maybe less than free, by the way,
Yeah.
because a lot of times you're losing money. Sometimes you have to pay to do things that, are really,
And
you should be paid for.
Honest to freaking poopies is if you for long enough are not compensated and sheltered, accordingly, you will lose faith in that thing.
You're going to get jaded for sure.
You're gonna get jaded, and then you're gonna halt creativity,
And what I think happens,
that's not good.
what I urge everyone to do, when they move forward with whatever project they're passionate about, I urge you to just, first of all, think about what you're doing for the world. What are you doing for the world with your service, right? So my service to the world is to elevate people.
All right.
Because I think once they're elevated, they receive things better.
Cool things can happen.
Cool things can
Yeah.
happen.
Cool things have already happened.
They always do
You just got to
happen.
be open to grab.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
If you're elevated, cool shit will go
Quantum
down.
Physics. Yeah. Tell me how you blew her mind in this
Okay.
email. That way
So-
you can melt my heart.
Well, I just kind of went at it with this tone where it was like, I too can understand the urge to want to save some money.
Oh, you said it.
I did.
Okay.
Everyone has that urge.
Yeah, no, of
Right?
course.
Like if you can save $5,
Yeah.
if you were buying a car,
Yeah.
and the dealer said, well, actually, we can take $5 off right now if you just want to put your email on the list. You go, put my fucking email on the list. I'll save $5.
You're freaking. It's so weird though, because you were like, well, what were you hoping your budget was? And she was like, X, and you went, I can work with X.
Mm-hmm.
They came to you with like the most they would want, not even the most.
Well, they
were
came
like,
to me with
"Can
what
you do
sounded
us-"
like something that works for them.
Right. So like in a way, like the agreement was already set, and then they like later were like, can we have X% off?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
almost
no,
like a
no,
just
you should have
kidding.
done that already.
Now, here's the thing. Now, again, I've given it a lot of thought. I've given this project a lot of thought, and I can recognize the realities of this. It's a smaller theater.
Yeah.
It's a community theater. It's funded by others.
Yeah.
They don't have a killer budget. So I get it.
Now the dragon in me goes, you don't have to fucking tell them that. They don't deserve anything. But you freaking let the dragon eat you.
Yeah.
And you said you wrote a pretty stellar email.
I did. I think I wrote a really good email and received a very good response in return.
What else did that email say? Because I don't know if artists have that vernacular.
Yeah, well, that's my mission here right now with this topic is to share this vernacular with. Should I just read the email? Would it be helpful to read the email?
Fucking.
Would you do
if
me a
you
solid and
have
grab my? Would you grab
service-
me my phone out of my pocket there? I feel like I could sit here and BS my response to them, but I feel like I would rather give artists
Yeah.
a template to work with
Holy shit.
that maybe would be helpful for them when they're trying to sell their art. I mean, I just
Yeah.
have to speak real English here. I mean, we're selling our art when we take the stage and we charge money for it.
And while
I know
you're
that's uncomfortable thought for some people, but
And while you're finding that, because I used to be a template follower,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh no, this must be the roadmap to my success. No, a template exists to invigorate what is uniquely you, for then you to regurgitate a beauteous template. Here's the thing. The reason why when I go to Marshall's and I try on a black stiletto or a black cowboy boot, I just don't look good in the cowboy boot, no matter if it fits me like a glove, is because I don't like cowboy boots. And this is actually a legit fact. I don't like cowboy boots, therefore I'm not going to look good in the cowboy boots. So
Science.
the template, but what the cowboy boot does do is it invigorates me to go, all right, I do like the height of that heel, though. Dang, I look good in the height of that heel. And I find another shoe that's just like it, or if I freaking make the shoe. And that's templates to me, is find a template that you're like, oh, shit, that's inspiring. For now, I'll use that template. But frick, maybe a month from now, you come up with your own badass template. Go ahead.
how much of this email do you want me to read?
The whole
right.
freaking knob.
It's not that long, but it's chunky. So I didn't want to monopolize the whole the next 4 minutes. It shouldn't take me.
No,
4 minutes.
actually, I hope you do.
I'm going to leave all names out of this one. So I'm going to say good morning.
Good morning.
I wanted to address your pricing text
Yeah.
by email. I can appreciate the board's desire to save $250 on the night.
Okay.
And while I understand how challenging it can be for some to understand the value versus price concept for music and entertainment,
Yeah.
it seems a bit counterintuitive for a theater to save
Love
on
that word.
entertainment. Wouldn't you agree?
I love the word counterintuitive
Yeah.
because what it's doing, these people are smart. It's just reminding them.
That's what the mission was, to
because
remind.
the $250 I could lose from my purse today.
Sure.
That $250 to me screams I'm scared.
Yes.
And when you're scared, sometimes you need that director in the theater to go, get up off your ass and run the number again. And then at the end of the show, that actor goes, Thanks, director,
Yeah.
for getting me off my ass. That's what I feel here.
So now in our conversation prior to this email, one of the details shared with me, which again is coming from a friend in the inner
of
circle.
course.
Okay, so this is all good.
Ooh, inner circle.
They basically were justifying the price that they were countering their own offer with by kind of like sharing with one another what they've previously paid for like a band. Like, we had 5 musicians play for X amount of dollars.
I will let you speak, but that is a no-go for me.
Okay,
So anyway,
so to
continue.
that topic, I said, now I can't speak for what other musicians charge for their services, as I do not price my services based on what other musicians charge.
Read it again.
Oh,
Read that again.
no. You got to let me keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
My pricing is based on results and value. As they say, price is what you pay and value is what you get.
Can you take those 3? That's from the get of that.
I can't speak for what other musicians and artists out there, listen to this sentence, okay? This took a lot of, this email, by the way, took a lot of courage for me to send because
That's what the Yes Anthem
I am a
is.
natural people pleaser,
Yeah.
a historical trained killer
Right.
of a people pleaser. Okay, I am a gold,
Yeah.
purple heart, gold
Yeah.
star people pleaser.
Right.
So I am trying to break this momentum by encouraging myself
Yeah.
to speak truthfully,
Yeah.
respectfully,
Yeah.
and understand that the same way that I'm entitled to charge what I charge,
Yes.
they are also entitled to ask for another thing. Everyone's allowed here.
So you're saying do not take it personally
Yes.
when someone right off the bat goes, "You're expensive."
100%.
I got to tell you, I would always take that personally when I was met with any kind of resistance with a customer.
I'm going to put this on pause for a
Okay.
sec.
You will reread that, though.
You're into tennis,
Love it.
right? Now,
Wait, how into tennis am I?
so into
Ready?
tennis.
Okay, so I used to teach tennis.
Yes, you taught
Yes.
tennis.
So I believed in myself enough to eventually teach it after college, or during college and after college.
Right.
Yeah.
You're avid. You are good at it.
Yeah.
You are experienced with it. It's part of your life.
I need a new racket.
Okay, you need a new racket.
Yes.
Great. I'm glad you said that. Now, how much would you pay on a racket? If money were no issue, how much would you pay on a racket that's just like perfect for you?
I mean, minimum. I'm not ranked, but
matter.
minimum 200.
Okay, minimum 200.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how much I would pay for a goddamn tennis racket?
How much, Rich?
$45.
You're never gonna get good.
I can get good. It's just I'm gonna bang my wrists up something fierce. I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably bang my elbow up.
Yeah.
The strings are probably gonna break more.
Yeah.
I'm not a great player. I can play recreationally, sorta. But to serve my needs, I'm entitled to say I could never see myself spending $200 on the world's best racket.
You
Now,
would march into the racket store and go. You'd be like, "Who the fuck would pay?" That's what you're saying.
I mean,
I
not-
wouldn't pay for this.
maybe not to that degree, but I think I would just be like, I'm not paying $200 for a tennis racket.
Huh? Yeah.
Is Head, the
That's
tennis racket maker,
Yeah.
going to close their doors because Rich Geneval won't pay $200 for their finer racket?
Right. So
Absolutely
you're
not.
saying Head is not going to take it personally
Of course.
because what your life is prioritizing as a unique individual. That's the thing about the Yes Anthem. I want people to be constantly reminded when they're with us, you and I, that you are unique
Yes.
for a reason. You matter. You are useful because you are unique.
You have value.
So because you even had to, and maybe it's just part of your sense of humor to go, who the hell would ever pay $200 for a racket?
It's just the way to talk, yeah.
But a salesperson should never be like, I take
Guess
that
we're closing our
personally.
business.
So
I guess we're done.
So you-
and that's what artists do.
yes. So whenever they are counter offered with like can you knock 25%? 25% off.
Or even just a question.
And then they'll say yes. They'll say, yeah, sure, is it cash? And then the next thing you know,
Yep.
the gig never existed because it was cash money. It's at a
Exactly.
local bar. And then venues get to go, well, musician number 2 only charged me $100 for 3 hours. And me, I go, $100 for 3 hours? I'll never set foot with a guitar in your bar. Are you kidding me?
Art is a subjective thing. So like me personally,
Yeah.
I have sat in cafes with you
Yeah.
where there might be an art exhibit happening.
Yeah.
Like artists will hang their stuff there because
Like
it's
painters and shit?
painters,
Yeah.
photographers, whatever it might be, framed art, and they're selling it. It's for sale. And I love art. I love art.
Yes, I do.
I have looked.
You're a very nice.
I have looked at
illustrator.
paintings and seen the price tag and just went, does not compute.
So you don't understand. Is it because you don't understand that market? Or is it just because it just doesn't
I think I value art,
Yeah.
but I think if I'm looking at a 12 by 12 painting, let's say, that could be gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I can identify that it's gorgeous. I can identify that it's like, I don't know how they did that. It's so good.
Right.
To my skill set, that's so damn good.
But you look at that number and you're like, not for me.
And not in that way.
Yeah.
But I just go, it doesn't line up with my values.
And is it values or also education too?
I think it's my need. I think it's
Boom.
okay.
Then that's value. Is just a need.
Are you hungry right now?
Yes.
You're hungry right now?
Yes.
Okay, so you need some food.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Are you in the mood for a beer?
No.
Okay, so like if I slid a beer across the table right now,
I'd be like, I'd only pay $3 for that shit because
why
I
would
don't
you
want it.
why would you even
I
pay
don't
three?
even want it.
If you don't fucking want
You're
it, why
right.
would you pay anything?
That's the people pleaser in me. I'm like, I'll give you $3
Exactly.
fucking
Exactly. And I think that's the dialogue that a lot of artists go through. It's like they're unwilling to go for the number I gave them. Must mean I'm not good enough.
Right.
That's not what it means.
I'll do do it for $75.
Yeah, or like just please like me. Please,
sure, please like me. Because
please.
I don't like me, or I don't understand why people would like me.
I think it's just.
Yeah.
I think it's simpler than that. I think
Yeah.
it's just. I'm offering you my service for a dollar amount that I have however I've done the math.
Okay.
Am determining I'm willing to do my art for this amount of money.
Right on.
9 out of 10 times, it's not enough money.
Yeah.
But please
Yeah.
show me
Yeah.
that I'm good enough for you to pay for. And then the person goes, and you go, oh my God, I already gave you a low price.
And that's personal. This is
Yes.
you're exhibiting you're method acting the person who takes it personally.
I'm method acting the
Yeah.
artist
Yeah,
who doesn't have their own value.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to understand, and what I'm coming to understand, and guys, I've been in this business for 27 years. I've
Yeah.
been a professional musician since I was a kid.
Yeah.
It is not about how good you are.
No.
It's about how much you value yourself. Because good is fake.
And once you understand, and it's not you go, okay, oh, okay, thanks, Rich. Like, got it. I'm going to start valuing myself. I'm going to be $20,000. No.
It's not about
You
that.
will find, like a bolt of lightning, like a download from the freaking clouds. Once you face your resistance dragon, the right price for you to charge for what you do, guys, is going to feel like is going to fall into your lap. And the reason why it's important that you feel like it's going to fall into your lap, or that it did, let's say it just did, is because now you're going to be able to talk to your customers fluently. If you guys are English speaking out there and English was your first language, you know how you don't even think about what you talk about in the English language. It's not even language to you. It's just these sounds that are a part of you. That is how comfy you have to be with understanding who you are, with the value that you provide, and you have to help that customer with the purchase. They want... We can't tell the future, or we can't read minds, rather, is what I meant. We can't read minds. They might need that bit of convincing news that you value, that you are going to lay it on the line for them once they hire you. I'm actually one of those people. I need to know that an artist is badass. I don't need to know that an artist is... To me, when an artist is just expensive... that to me doesn't necessarily equate to how badass you are.
That's personal for you too, by the way.
And that's what
Expensive.
I'm saying. And I said, for me, yeah, for sure. And then there's other artists that are badass, but they go, I don't really need a lot of loot for this. I'm on my own spiritual journey. Whatever is the reason that
And that's
they're
fine
lower.
too.
And I'll hire them because you're badass. For
It's
me,
about-
because that's what's important.
It's about, yes, and I agree with you. I think artists forget
Yeah.
that what we do is a service.
And you mean forget by you guys know it inside. Is that I'm just going to feed that. Like you guys know deep down inside you need reminding of what you already know deep down inside?
I actually think
Because I don't think we were ever taught this.
we were not taught this.
No.
So when I say forget,
Yeah.
I mean I'm sure I'm sure most people have heard a phrase similar to that. Like music, art as a service. Yeah, okay, so we're familiar with this kind of like
Lest we
terminology.
forget. All right, okay.
But when I say forget, it's almost just like, and I've been there, where you're sitting there, you're trying to book a show, and you're getting fed, a plate full of crap by the booker or this person, and they're trying to bleed you dry of something.
Yeah.
We're so hungry to be liked
Yeah.
that we forget that the trade-off for that is the service we're providing. It's almost like we're mistaking our art for our own identity, and we're like, well, if you like my art, that must mean you like me, and like the bacteria and mitochondria that make me me.
I think if you listen, I think artists have a tendency at a certain, or whatever. Let me just say the sentence. Sometimes, tell me if you have observed this, artists will, instead of being like, hi, I bring use and I know my use, they will listen to the insecurities of the venue. The venue insecurities could run the gamut of, oh, hey, you want to book here? I would like to book here. Do you have anything available? Okay, well, I'll run some dates by you. So, by the way, it's a 25 heads. You have to guarantee me 25 heads. And by the way, like a lot of bands, I've been screwed over by a lot of bands before, so I'm really serious about that 25 head. All I hear on the end of that phone now with my new self is I'm an insecure bar owner.
Please make me feel comfortable with my decision.
Please make me feel comfortable with deciding on your music. Now me, it would actually deteriorate my identity and
I
go,
would say most
oh my
artists it
God,
does.
this venue owner is God, is king. I don't even know 25 people who have nothing going on a Saturday night, because if you are anyone with a Saturday night available, you're probably going to be at the Billy Joel concert, not at the small venue.
That's another insecurity.
Not at the small venue for 25 people. And there was another example that I was going to give of a sound company. Hey, like I need a PA. Hi, sound company. I just want to get a quote on some gear. Yeah, well, I can't give you that quote. I need to until I know what like you're after. Makes sense. Here's what I'm after. Okay, well, see, we're not really into one-offs. What we really need is a relationship, because this one guy, I heard this the other day with a sound company. Because it's one band, like we quoted him and everything, but like he wound up never calling us back. And it's like, whoa, you're leading with your insecurity.
Yeah.
I need someone who is calm and not going to be, I don't know. I just wish love on those people. I just wish calmness in their life so that they don't have to defend their business in the wrong way. That's what it is.
It's
They're
defense,
defending their businesses in the wrong way. Instead of standing up for your business. That's a different thing.
Well, it's a catch-22. We've all been trained really badly.
Very poorly.
Here's what I think. I'm a foodie, and I mean, I'm not hypothetically saying this. I am a foodie.
Yeah.
And I'm bougie with my food.
On the next podcast, should foodies exist?
Hey, whatever, man. You say what you think, whatever you want about that, but some people do not agree with the idea that you should spend a lot of money on food.
Indeed.
Right?
My father being one of them.
Sure thing. We know plenty of other people who just are just like, You want to go? No, I'd rather go here for dinner. You can get like 400 wings for a nickel.
Boo for you and I.
And it's served, not boo,
Yeah.
not boo. It serves its purpose.
Yeah, see, and I'm all conditioned for going
Exactly.
like for saying you have shitty taste.
No.
You should spend $20 a plate.
That
at
is
minimum.
that's the template I'm trying
That's
to share today.
Break
is
that shit. Yeah.
Don't.
It's more
It's
nurturing.
not about who's right and who's wrong. It's not about whose decision is better, whose decision is worse.
Oh my
it's
God.
about
Yes.
where do you guys meet
Where do you guys meet?
on what I need
Yeah.
and what you need.
And-
where does that
yes.
converge? Where's the
If it
the Venn
converges,
diagram?
and that's another thing. If it converges, because I think people's fear, I know mine, because it's kind of talking to me. I have a very intense banter when I banter with my old self, kind of. My fear is that I'm not going to converge with you this time. And where's that going to leave me? Isolated.
Broke.
I'm going to be broke. I'm
Close
gonna
your
be
doors.
by
Your
myself.
business is going down.
Yep,
Your
business
music
is going-
sucks.
yep.
Your sound company
So
sucks.
I concede.
Yeah.
I concede. And then if you're telling your mitochondria, oh, she's conceding again, guess what your mitochondria is going to do all the time as their natural instinct? Oh, you better make concessions, Kat.
And you know
And
where
then I'll never get what I want.
it goes beyond getting what you want.
Okay.
It's about getting what you need. Oh. That's what I think. Now
Yes.
here's the thing. Here's where I
Yes.
think
Yeah,
we
yeah.
fucking screwed everything up.
Okay.
Somewhere along the line,
Yes.
some jerk off came up with the phrase
Yeah.
in a negotiation. I mean, I'm going to butcher the phrase now because I'm all worked up. But it's something along these
You
lines.
should come out to a fancy dinner with us, and then Rich will have a very lucid
When I'm more
thought.
calm, I will give
Yeah,
you this
yeah.
phrase verbatim. But I'm sure I'm sure the way I paraphrase it, you guys will know what I'm talking about.
Right.
In a good negotiation, nobody's happy.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
as
you're
it-
conceding,
Oh, yeah.
you're giving something
I
up. And
hate that
it's not
phrase.
about that.
It's not.
That's
It's not.
terrible training. That's
Yep.
like saying like, you know, in a good car trip, you run everybody off the road so no one's in your way. What a dumb
That sounds great to me. I'm sorry.
I mean, in theory that might work.
Yes.
But
You
you're
can just place magnets along the
But
highway
it's
so that the cars
unnecessary.
leave. Right.
It's unnecessary. There are a million ways to do things. I could drink this coffee like this right now.
Oh my
That's
God.
one way to do it.
That didn't freak me out. I'm
Good.
shocked.
Good, because it's stupid and it's unnecessary. And you know I wouldn't do that because it's
Right.
unnecessary.
Right.
You get a hot cup of coffee. You're gonna chug it. Well,
So
that's
in-
certainly one way to drink it.
We're encouraging people to come into the conversation room with fucking ease.
Come into the conversation room first and foremost, understanding
That you're enough.
your
Sorry.
service.
Yes. Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
understand your service,
It's okay,
you
baby
will
doll.
organically understand
Yeah.
that your service is making the world a better place.
Yeah.
You are enough.
And that's believing in yourself too, that you actually have a space that
Yes.
people might need.
And it doesn't
They're
matter.
just scared to want it.
And not scared.
Okay.
They might be.
Maybe.
But I think
Yeah.
they just don't understand the value yet. Now,
Yet.
if I'm
Ooh,
sitting
yeah.
in the cafe and I see this painting and I go,
Yes.
"Wow, what a nice painting."
Yeah.
I can't see myself paying $3,800 for the painting. That's
Right.
what the artist is asking for, though.
Right, right.
In my mind, I'm not going, "Psh, 30. What a stupid. Who the fuck pays that for art? What a stupid." I'm not saying
not
that. I'm
saying
just
that.
saying
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't see myself doing that. Now I get up to the bar and I order my coffee,
Yeah.
and next to me is the artist. And the artist goes, he tells me about the art, and he tells me how, like,
was on a
he
trip.
painted that
Yeah.
thing on his deathbed, and actually that boat represents his mom. And like now, I suddenly
Wait, now he's alive? Or like he was dying?
yeah.
Okay, and then.
Kat, this isn't a real story. I'm just going along. I'm trying
are
to
you
create
online
trying to
at
create
this cafe with his ghost?
Yes. I pay if a ghost sold me a painting, I would give that artist everything I own for it. I would pay a ghost $4,000 for a painting for sure.
I'd pay a ghost all my money.
So but that's my point, right? And it's not about sales tactics. I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of artists get uncomfortable
Fuck
with this
the template,
topic because
sure.
we feel like art shouldn't be sold. It should just be organically purchased, I
Right.
guess.
You
I don't even know
get
the
it,
word.
right? Or they don't like ticket sales to a concert.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't even the customer doesn't think it's a transaction. It's like, I want that. I will do anything. Oh, you're asking for numbers? Yes, numbers online for a Ticketmaster. Enter numbers.
The email that I ultimately sent the board.
Yeah.
I wrote and rewrote like 4 times.
Yeah.
Because I realized
I could
though
imagine.
that I realized, but it wasn't panicked.
Ooh.
Typically, I'll go in an email and I'll start firing off all my wisdom at this person
Yeah.
and going, "Oh, well, this is why I'm smart and this is why I'm worth it." I went, "You know what? That doesn't even serve me anymore.
No.
What serves
Because
me?"
that's judgmental on you.
It is
Yeah.
because what you're saying
Yeah.
is you pay how much for food?
Ooh.
You're an
yeah.
idiot.
Yeah, don't call.
There's no hierarchy
We don't
here.
need name calling here. Right.
All they're doing
Yeah.
is trying to come up with a way.
Yeah.
I think most people,
Yeah.
maybe not all. I
Yeah.
think there are crazies out there. But most people, I think, are just trying their best to do their best.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if we approach everything with the idea
Yeah.
that
We're all still kids.
when that person, and we're all dumb.
Yes. Everybody
Each-
thinks that when they turn like 24,
Yeah.
they're like, got it. I'm supposed
You
to
don't know
be a certain
shit.
way. I'm supposed to talk to to negotiators a
Yeah.
certain way. I'm supposed to talk to investors a certain way. Because now that I'm 24, no. You're always getting awakened.
On this earth,
Yeah.
you are smaller than a grain of sand.
Yeah.
In the cosmos,
Yeah.
the earth is smaller than a grain of sand.
Right on.
I promise you,
Yeah.
there is more that you don't know about this life
And that's
than
not-
you will ever know.
And that's not hierarchy. That's not saying
No.
you're less than the galaxy cat. No, you're saying
Smaller is not less than.
boom.
Smaller is not less than. Smaller is smaller.
Very good. Now, my relationship to that throughout years has been finicky, and I think a lot of other people could probably.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think language is the equalizer here. I think if artists and people can get a better handle on the language.
And you can redefine a word too. The other day, I forget what it was. There was a term that either you used or I used, and I said, "Wow, I used to feel judgmental toward that one word. Now that I had like a download from the universe, I'm actually using that word quite freely. It's like the Pee-wee's word of the day." Was that a good Pee-wee? It was pretty bad.
You've done it better.
I have done it better. Would
yeah.
you like to try?
No, my throat's
Yeah,
not feeling all that
too
hot
much.
today.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it became my word of the day. And I'm like, oh, I feel so much freer with this language. It's the relationship to things.
Yeah, and I think it's the to me,
Yeah.
knowledge is the ability to take a piece of information and apply it numerous ways.
All right.
To me, that's wisdom.
Yeah.
I can hand you this cup, and if you are wise, you'll be able to use that cup if you have a leak in the sink. You'll be able to go, I can draw a thing on here. Like, to me, that's wisdom. A person who is smart, I don't think smart and wise are the same thing.
No.
You're smart.
I don't even
So-
know if smart's a thing anymore.
Well, I'm saying it like this.
I could apply.
The smart side of you
Yeah.
understands a word based solely on its connotation.
I think smart is wanting to connect words to connotation or wanting to learn.
Maybe.
I don't think smart is like a natural, like, wow.
And I think wisdom
Yeah.
is wanting to separate that word from its connotation and use it in multiple ways,
Yes.
like a poem. If
Yes,
I say,
I can agree with that.
If I say, the night was dusty,
Ooh,
what does that mean?
pretty fucking great.
Oh, it could mean a million
to
things.
me, it
To a
means a
wise
million
person, it means a
things.
million things.
Yeah.
To a smart person, it's like,
I'm wise.
the night was dusty. I don't know. I guess maybe they were in like an old house.
Right.
Sure.
Yes,
That's one way to
yeah,
view
you're
it. Sure.
trying. Yes. Yeah.
You're choosing a
like the
path.
societal, right? The logic.
What your learned
yeah,
path.
Yeah. Yes, what you've learned.
What's the word? There's a good word for this. Rote.
Wrote.
ROTE. You're taking the rote path.
Murder,
it.
she wrote.
What you learned.
path. Okay.
Rote. If you're doing something rote, I think the rote.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
it's like you're your learned way.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah, yeah. What a great band name. That's our band name.
Rote. Oh, I told somebody I should call my band Rich and the Audibles because I'm always changing shit up on stage. And I'm like, actually, that's not bad at all.
That's really
That is a pretty
funny.
solid band name. Right? The Audibles? That is pretty good.
Yeah, you are changing the shit up.
I'm always
What did we
messing with
do?
everybody on stage.
Medley the... What did we...
I'm not into doing the Broadway thing where it's like, this is your script, rehearse it a million times because this is perfect.
It has its time.
I respect it. 1,000% I respect it. But that's not me.
Right.
I go, oh no, we're going to set the house on fire, then have dinner in it. That's how we're doing this show.
We're going to invite that ghost painter.
That's right. And we're going to buy a painting from a ghost at a coffee shop.
And then we're going to invite Knowledge, the little plankton.
We're going to call Knowledge over for a salon.
John Knowledge.
In our burning house.
Knowledge.
Anyway,
Reread
yes,
that,
okay, thank
'cause
you.
Don't even speak.
Thank you for
until
getting me
you
back on
read-
track.
Until you read those 3 sentences at the end of that thing, and then continue A.
All right, so I'm gonna just read straight through.
Okay.
Okay. Just because I do want our Yes Anthemers to hear this.
Top to bottom again.
I'll go from that where you
Yeah.
you
I
wanted
think it's
to
going
hear
to hit
again.
differently now.
I can't speak for what other musicians charge for their services, as I do not price my services based on what other musicians charge.
Oh man.
My pricing is based on results and value. As they say, price is what you pay, value is what you get. I'd love to present a short list of everything you're getting with me.
Oh, that's great.
Please urge your board and president to consider the following points when making their decision.
Oh.
Point 1, your gala is way more than a dinner and show kind of an event. We're providing an experience for your investors, and this is an opportunity to remind your investors that they believe in this place.
Yes.
Point number 2, to that end, I will not just be putting on a great show. I will be hosting, emceeing, and working to charm your investors with a personal touch in an effort to keep the whole crowd energized and engaged,
Right.
to give them a reason to invest in
Yeah.
a wonderful little theater.
how boring
And
these things be.
show them that we appreciate them
Yes.
personally.
Yes.
Point number 3, this gala should create lasting memories so investors feel great about where their money is
Yes.
going.
Yeah.
And help to keep this awesome theater
Yep.
thriving.
Absolutely.
We want to give them an entertainment experience, underlined,
Yep.
that they'll remember forever and know that their money is going toward a special group of people working very hard to provide amazing art for New Jersey. Point number, I lost the point because these are just bullet 4.
These are all like should be the last points.
I agreed.
You nailed all these last
But
points.
beyond the shadow of a doubt, you have to prove it sometimes to people.
Yep. And you're
That's
doing
how I
it.
feel. Okay.
Yep.
Point number 4. In my experience, selling and organizing thousands of high-ticket events,
Yeah.
galas, and weddings in the
Yeah.
private sector across the country with my band, the Ever After Band.
Yep.
Check us out, everafterband.com. I can tell you that what makes people buy is emotion. Sure, your investors would and should enjoy a great concert.
Yeah,
But we
whatever.
want these people to say, holy shit, that was remarkable. I'd like to make the final point that the goal of this date is to make the evening unforgettable
Yep.
and personalize it by making it exciting and emotional.
Oh yeah.
This is why my event band typically costs anywhere between, should I say the price?
Nah.
No?
No.
All right. I'm just going to say this, guys. There's a 50% of me wants to disclose this price.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. Because this is right now.
Go ahead.
Right now, I
Yeah.
want you guys watch me squirm with this
Yeah.
because
My resistance told you no.
yes, and my resistance is going.
I'm gonna
Don't
get eaten
say
by
it
the-
because
I just got eaten by
And
the
there's a
dragon.
magical
That's
thing
good.
called editing, so that if
Yeah,
you don't
no.
feel like
Yeah,
it,
we're not editing this.
man, I appreciate that very much. But I think I need people to hear this because
Yeah.
what I've learned over time is that what holds people back is ignorance.
Yeah, you're
What makes
right.
this world dangerous is
Yeah.
ignorance. So listeners, listen to this.
Fuck.
Listen to
All right.
this. This is why my event band typically costs anywhere between $8,000 to $15,000 for a private event.
Yep.
We elevate the event, elevate people's emotions, and open them up to making memories. So we live in their minds and hearts forever.
Yes.
Hopefully, your board will understand why I need to stand firm on my price.
Oh, love that.
And if it would be helpful, I'm happy to draw up a formal proposal showing that the value I'll be bringing to your event far exceeds the cost. Now, I'm being honest right now when I say this.
Okay.
I'm being vulnerable when I say this. my face is still hot from revealing the price.
Wow, you look fine.
But I feel.
Me, on the other hand, rosacea central.
And this isn't. I want to talk about this because I didn't expect this to happen.
Oh. Did you just get eaten by a dragon again?
Yes.
Really?
I just got eaten by another dragon.
Okay.
There is a lot of danger in ignorance.
Yeah.
And I think in our line of work, our business, for a very long time, I suffered. I'm about to cry. For a very long time, I suffered in this business only because I didn't even know what to charge. And if you don't know what to charge, the only reason for that is because you don't know your value yet.
Yeah.
When I constructed that email
Yeah.
and I put all those bullet points together,
Yep.
I was like, holy shit, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's my specialty, actually.
Yep.
And so once you get comfortable, once you get settled and nestled into your own value and your real service to this world, I'm going to say the word that we talked about this morning, you can unapologetically tell people what you value your service as and put a dollar amount to it.
And you don't mean with the societal, like the brazenness.
Here's a microphone for you to drop.
No, yeah. We love the encouragement.
Thank you. I'm going to slow motion drop it.
$1,500.
Yeah.
No, but it's so true in terms of self-worth.
Yeah.
And I feel you on that aspect of the emotion.
Yeah.
Because it's true. It's like you never really, you don't understand something until sometimes when you almost see it in the writing and you're just like, oh, this is why I fight for this.
You see
day.
the matrix. The
Yeah.
matrix is revealed to you. Even this cup of coffee is purchased with emotion.
Wow.
There's
It
a
is.
need.
Yeah.
First of all, there's
Yeah.
a need. There's
Yeah.
a like or a love for some people to experience this.
Yeah.
It's making your life better. Even though it's a
Yeah.
small
Yep.
way,
Yeah.
somehow it's made your life better. And some cafes might charge you 99 cents for a cup of burnt ass coffee, and some might charge you $9.99 for a cup of burnt hay
Yeah.
that tastes like grass
Yeah.
or dirt. They might sell you on that. They might be like, ooh, it tastes earthy and dirty. You're like,
Absolutely.
I like the sound of that.
Yes.
I'm off in the weeds on sales tactics
No.
here, but it's
Well,
for a very long time, Kat,
You say- yeah,
you
you
can
say you were
attest to
gonna cry
this.
right now.
Yeah, you can attest to this. One of my demons, one of my dragons that I've been very reluctant to enter the mouth of,
Yes.
like Jonah or like Pinocchio or like
Yeah.
Marlin and Dory.
And I like the Marlin and Dory. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to let the whale swallow you so that it can spit you out in the direction that you need to go.
Make me cry with the Finding Nemo reference.
Yeah, well, there's a scene, as a lot of you guys know, where Dory, who's a complete batshit, is like "Roo," talking to whales, and Marlin's like, "You don't speak whale, stop it."
Yeah,
And
he was so negative.
he was scared. He was not negative. He was scared.
Marlin was
you know
asking
why?
for $250 off the price.
You know why?
Why?
Because he was afraid he would
Because he
never
has
see
no
his son again. And it's very
And
similar.
you can't blame. Now I understand. You can't blame people
This woman
for being scared because they don't even know why they're
They
scared.
just don't know.
They just feel the thing
Yes.
bubble up inside, and then they go $250
immediately
off.
And
please.
you know what that was to me?
Yeah.
The asking for $250 was not, well, Rich, we think you're more worth this price. It was
No.
this.
I think we're going to lose
I
investors.
think we might
we're
I
gonna
think
lose
we
them.
might have to close the theater.
Oh my God. Oh, you're.
If we don't get enough investments to justify the cost of this night, we're going to have to close the theater.
It is not.
And it's completely unreasonable
Yeah.
because $250 is not going to make or break whether you leave a theater open, right?
Again, yeah.
But it's a fear.
I could
and
lose that.
it's- Oh man,
in the
it's
mall.
everything, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in the scene with the whale,
So
she's going. He's saying
They're in the
you know,
mouth.
the mouth of the whale comes up and they're like hanging off the uvula of this whale.
Okay.
And getting ready to get swallowed.
With their little fins.
Right. And
It's one of the most important scenes in that
it is
movie.
it's the switch. It's the switch over in the story.
So
where
they're hanging.
They're hanging and
And then-
Marlin's holding Dory, and she's like, he's saying let go, and he's like, of course he's saying let go. He wants to eat you.
us.
And
Yeah,
she's
he
like,
wa-
I think we should let go.
I
And he's
think-
like, but how do you know something bad's not going to happen? And
Oh,
she
yeah,
goes,
that's right.
I don't. And he just
And then
looks
they
at
look
her,
at each
and he
other.
just lets go. and they fall in and pew, they get shot out of the blowhole.
The blowhole.
Sent,
Yeah.
you know, however far they need to go that they otherwise would.
Closer to finding
Correct.
Nemo the
Closer
sun.
to their goal. And
Yes,
sometimes I think we have to. You and I have been talking about. You came up with this phrase, and I have to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you because you called it killing your dragons, and then we ultimately changed it to,
not killing the. It evaporates once you get eaten by your dragon.
Right. You have to. Oh, you said
it's
you
a
have to let the
portal.
dragon kill you.
You have to. I said you have to die 1,000 deaths.
Yeah.
And you have to let the. You have to go. You have to be courageous enough and brave enough to die.
Yeah. And so my revealing the cost of the band, I just in the moment decided to walk into the mouth of the whale, walk into the mouth of the dragon, because the old me would feel, hey man, you know, you're kind of like handing a gun to a child. Like you're going to wind up encouraging musicians who aren't prepared or equipped.
That was your fear.
The fear is
Okay. That someone else is not going to do it right.
not going to do it right, or
Which is hierarchical,
get out of hand,
right and wrong.
and go, oh shit. Well, if Rich is charging that, and by the way, they have no idea why we charge that much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's not $8,000 of profit we're talking about.
Correct.
There.
Right.
There's a lot of costs
Yeah,
associated
yeah.
with that price. That,
Yeah.
and otherwise you have
But
to pay.
that's
for.
not your task.
It's not my job exactly.
But the old people pleaser in you, the honoree, not honoree, like
I think this world. My father and my mother were mixed race.
yeah.
And when they got married, a lot of this world was against them.
Mm-hmm.
My father was brown and my mother is white. And at that time, especially, society was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I think things like that happen.
Yes.
I'm going to say something that might sound controversial.
Oh yeah.
I think even the most racist person in the world,
Yeah.
deep down inside, is just trying to protect their level of wisdom.
Of understanding. Yeah.
And it's because
Yep.
there's a thick layer of concrete
Yeah.
over their intelligence, and so
Yes.
they're limited. When you're ignorant to something,
Yeah.
when you don't know any better,
Yeah.
and you try to protect that ignorance, you're fucking up the world. Big time.
You're making it. You don't know that you're making other people isolated on the island that no one deserves to be isolated on. People as humans want to find their little pack. I think the other day I said to you, I'm like, I don't even know if and you correct. Well, all right, I'm babbling, but you said everybody has their tribe cat, even if it doesn't, you know.
And just to be
Hit
clear,
right
not
away.
about race. It was more about
No.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
something. It was about something else.
Yeah,
Is it pertinent? I forget what it was about.
Maybe I think the tribe is humans.
Yeah. I just think because you
as-
said you're fucking things up. I understand. I think people understand what you're saying without language. Like
Yeah,
if
well-
you're protecting your ignorance, you're fucking things up. But that's still like
And you shouldn't fuck things up for me.
it should be more of a by
If
protecting
you're protecting your ignorance,
ignorance,
you are trying to be smart. And as we defined earlier,
You don't need to.
if
be
you're trying to be
Eggs,
smart,
yes,
you are going about it in a rote way. You're
way,
trying
yeah,
to protect
yeah.
the way you learned it.
Yes.
Instead of understanding that a cup can serve many purposes. It's not just for
Right.
drinking your drink. It can be a fucking telephone. You know, this cup can be so many things. And if you're not willing to, if you're willing to let your ignorance vaporize
Yeah.
and become wise,
Yep.
earn yourself some wisdom, apply some wisdom, not just smarts,
Yes.
you're making the world better.
And more than likely, just for the comprehension of that, perhaps because it is a rote way, which means there's a lot of history and a lot of that narrative going through think about the childhood that you had, like growing up with your parents and their values.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of roteness happening. Likely that roteness has infused into your very identity, or you applied your identity to that smartness. So it is very hard to evaporate your racism, evaporate into wisdom, because guess what has to die? Your your identity. You have to go into the mouth of the dragon and go,
Correct.
I'm willing, let's just say this is your issue. I'm willing to be wrong. Gulp.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the dragon was never real.
Right.
You come out on the other side and you go, oh, there is actually no right and wrong.
Right.
I'm actually going to not be racist toward that person.
That's
or
right.
whatever.
That's a heavy topic.
Very
and a
abrupt.
complicated-
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know what you
and I'm
mean.
sure
I know what you mean.
race would come, or issues like
I'm
that.
sure we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
In
and
this
shit like that.
particular case, to this topic, it's more about just.
You nailed that email.
Thank you. I think it's more about, as an artist, we live in a society that is kind of misinformed as to what
They're allowed
smart
to do, or
is.
allowed to think.
I think we grow up and we talk, and we are going to be talking about education a lot on this podcast.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the geneses of this podcast itself. Was like it was a thing that kind of helped form this idea for you.
Yeah, it was the broken education of actors.
Right.
That
That makes things the way it is.
correct.
Oh, well, that's just the way it is.
And I'm like,
what fucking says who, dude?
And then I go, and I'm like, no.
Right.
But I was willing.
Then you come in.
This is John Knowledge at the college radio station.
Wow.
Like a suburban fucking kid. Now that's racist.
Why is it racist?
Because I'm making because it's not racist. That's why it's funny.
Yeah, I know. Everybody pictured John Knowledge in your mind for just 1 second. You ready? That was racist.
That was racist.
No matter what you envisioned, it was racist.
I don't think you understand. Mine wasn't racist at all, which is really
Christian's like,
fucking
I actually
funny.
pictured like a really awesome puppet.
Do you remember
was a
there were
stuffed
these
animal.
ads from way back in the day where it was this guy who was in his garage. He was like, "This is my Lamborghini, but you know what's more important? The books on my shelf.
Oh,
this
yeah.
knowledge."
His name, Ty Lopez.
Yeah, he's such an arrogant.
Yeah.
Like I always hated those fucking ads, and that's who I pictured.
That's John Knowledge.
John Knowledge.
Ty Lopez is actually his alter ego has been uncovered here on the Yes Anthem.
What a delight.
I remember those ads.
What
I
a
do.
delight.
And where is he? I haven't seen him in forever, by the way.
He wised up and got the fuck off the internet.
Now, yes, that's right. That's right. Now he's John Wisely.
John Wisely.
Shout out to Zach, his brother Zach.
That's right. Go Zach. Wise dog.
Yeah, I think.
So you nailed that email.
Thank you, and
And
I.
there was a response attached to that? Or you could still get, go ahead.
Well, no, please, like I said,
Well, I was just curious.
I want to have a
Where
conversation.
did it wind up?
Yeah, well,
was it
my
still in the
contact
works?
got back to me and just said I couldn't agree with you more.
Oh, she dropped that $1,500.
She picked it off the
podcast
ground
mic.
and dropped it with
Right,
me and was
yeah.
like, "Let's get him."
So
she was
wait
just
a
like,
second. I know that she was kind of on team Yenoval firstly, but do you think she now bought the freaking jersey? Like she bought the whole...
I actually think that she already had the jersey, but
Okay.
I think
And there's no teams. But
Well-
did you give her the gift of...
I
now
hope
she
that-
made it. She was more comfortable.
my mission,
Yeah.
and as I said to her, if it's helpful, I can create a proposal because
I loved that sentence.
what
by
I
the way.
wanted to do with that email, it wasn't about me clearing the silverware off the table and then standing on it and going, "Everyone fucking listen." It wasn't that scene in the movie.
No.
It was, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
I'm going to arm you with the vocabulary that you're going to need to talk to your people.
Okay.
I'm actually going to give you the language.
gift, yeah.
I'm going to give you the language and the understanding. You probably already have the understanding,
Yes.
but if they're pushing back at you, it's probably because you didn't have the language to present to them.
And that's knowledge.
Go ahead. I'm the ghost at the bar. I'm the ghost at the cafe who
Yeah.
just described my painting to you,
Yeah.
and you went,
Oh, duh.
Got
you
it.
went, got it. Yeah.
now I'm going to go tell my peeps
Because you were like, I
what
knew
this
there
thing's
had
all
to be a
about.
reason. And,
Yeah. And it's just, look.
They might even convince, because you weren't even in the market for a painting in the Ghost Cafe.
Absolutely.
But you actually might now be like someone who it's kind of alchemy when you convert a person who wasn't even in the mood to like buy furniture that day,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're that's crazy.
There have been many times in my performing career where I do gigs of all kinds. I do theater shows. I do private events. We do private events. I do public shows. I do piano bars. I do things like this. And I've had multiple times.
OnlyFans.
Right. I do public shows in particular.
Yeah.
Many times people have come up to me and said, I literally just stopped here for a drink and I wound up staying here for 4 hours on a Monday.
And that's not the customer that's not why you're there. You're not there to bank on because you'd lose all your energy.
Well,
But the fact that you can convert that is amazing. Or is that a different topic?
I think it's a different topic. What I was trying to say with that example was, while I'm performing for these people, I do my best to remain connected to my service, and my service is not, hey, look at me do my thing. My service is
Fun first.
Isn't this fun tonight? Like, isn't this a cool thing tonight for all of us, like myself included? When you throw a party at your house and you invite over all your friends and you're like, oh my God, it would be so much fun. Like, we should get a freaking punch bowl. Like, we should do that. Or like, oh, let's make it a costume party. Yo, let's make it a costume party.
Okay.
Do your art like that, man.
Yeah.
Like, yes, make it you. Make it speak your speak, of course. But offer people this, when presenting your art, allow them to experience this with you. I find this fun. What about you?
Yes.
Do you find this fun?
You mentioned the other day, if you're comfy retelling the blurb of a story that it is when you were a kid, you used to lead with fun first with making your friends laugh. And then you got the extraneous joy of having been a very impressive usage part of you're like, oh, that felt good.
I think somewhere along the line that happens to a lot of us. I think a lot of us start out, especially if you've been doing it a long time, right? Like, I just think a lot of us, and I'll just use myself as an example here, just not to speak for others, but
you could tell that story if you want.
Well, I mean, as a lot of you guys know, I'm a musical impressionist, so I do hundreds of different kinds of voices, and the way that started was, as a kid, I just kind of always had an ear for picking up on things, be it an accent or a certain cadence of the way someone speaks, and it's almost like I'm kind of able to parrot that thing almost flawlessly without any practice. And so over time that kind of became a thing for me. It was I would take requests, yo, do this teacher, do that teacher, and I'm like, here's how I interpret the nuance that makes that teacher unique.
This was in school.
This is in school, growing up as a kid.
Right.
And so my blurb to you was, we were chatting about just as, how, what art used to be to us and stuff. And I think for me, when it all started out, it was the goal first was to make people laugh. The goal first was to make people feel heard, feel included. I could imitate the most troublemaker kid in school and they would laugh.
Oh,
they wouldn't want to kick my ass.
Yeah. Good.
Because the goal
Yeah.
was to have fun and make them laugh,
Okay.
not to disrespect, and it wasn't to blow their minds. It was to
Yes.
make them enjoy that moment, and in return, or I should say, as an effect,
Yes, an exchange.
it blew their minds.
It blew their yeah.
And they were like, yo! Everybody's running around
bonus.
high-fiving each other,
Right.
like crazy kids when something cool happens. For some reason, we high-five each other.
Yes.
But
But then as the years rolled down, 20 years later, it became, well, it's because of the responsibilities we have. Now we have to pay rent.
well, now it's
to-
more business oriented,
Yeah,
and
so
we're like,
well, we have to be impressive first.
we confuse. We say clearly the only way I'm going to be able to charge for a thing
Is to blow
is by
people's
blowing
minds.
their minds.
Right. Which isn't the case.
Not their case. Yeah,
No.
and it's also not your job to blow people's minds.
Because there is no such thing as better or anything. So, more expensive doesn't just automatically mean better. It just means, am I in the market for it? Do I value?
Yeah.
Do I value that cup of coffee? Do I value that tennis racket? So, and then fun came second, was kind of the gist.
Yeah, it may not be a first and second thing. I don't know if it's a ranking so much as a cause and effect switch. I think for me it was the goal was to make people laugh, and the effect was mind blow.
Got it.
And then I think over time, as I started to try to craft a sustainable career,
It got a little more
It
jaded.
got not jaded. No.
Wrong.
It just
wrong word.
the poles shifted, and it was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna blow their minds first, and that means they're having fun.
Why
like,
does?
well-
yeah. Why? Why does that expectation of yourself? Is
Because
it 'cause
every commercial you've
is it
ever
because you
se-
lose trust in yourself eventually? Like,
The world. You
How
get
do we forget that?
We get brainwashed.
Oh,
because I
yep,
think there's a
yeah.
lot of shit out there that's.
that's a good word.
I think. Look, I mean, you see the commercials for specifically something art, right? Like you see a commercial for a new Broadway play that you've never seen before. What are the first 5 seconds of that commercial?
Critically acclaimed. Yeah.
Zoom.
Stars.
Bum,
Blum, blum.
amazing USA
Impressive.
Today.
This is
Remarkable.
right, exactly.
John Broadway.
Yeah. Instead of just seeing scenes and going, "Ooh, I'm attracted to that."
Yeah.
Instead, we listen to other people being attracted to it,
Right.
otherwise known as the critics. Oh, well, if the critics like it,
Well, if it blew
if
USA
a critic-
Today's mind,
exactly. So
it's probably fun.
So you're right. We do get brainwashed from the childlike thing, which is what you eventually got back to. By the way, I'd like
That's
to
been
tell
the
our
work, yeah.
tell our listeners at the work. Rich has been freaking pedaling to the metal. Me too, on bringing the fun. And again, it's not a ranking, but the fun is the catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what I was saying, but that is the point. But yeah, stop listening to those critics first.
Yeah. And we've addressed this topic
Generating
before
your
too.
own energy. Yeah.
Like, don't create your art for the critics.
Yeah.
Create it for yourself.
And don't consume your art like for the critics.
Based on critics.
Based on critics.
Yeah.
Do it based on yourself. Because
Yeah.
then that's what makes people go, oh, you're a musician to host the event at the theater? Well, I just paid $500 for a jazz quartet. Why aren't you 500? Why you're just one guy?
Yeah.
Once we start consuming our art for the critics that are brainwashing us, 5 stars, 5 stars. We're going to start shopping like a critic. Next thing you know, I don't even though I know Rich and he's performed at my theater already numerous times, I'm only going to see him as a product and a dollar sign. Oh, and I'm going to start comparing him. Even though it's apples to avocados, I'm going to start thinking that Rich and this jazz quartet who did it for pennies is apples to apples, and it ain't.
Yes, and apples to apples is the way you have to think about it, because specifically in music, because, or I should say art in general, but like, especially the invisible forms of art.
Yeah.
Music is not a touchable, tangible thing, but you are consuming it.
Yeah.
I think what gets confusing for a lot of people is the pricing versus value scenario. So if I, for example, let's just pretend these are 2 cups.
Okay.
As I literally get a text as I pick my phone up. I can walk into a diner
Yeah.
and understand why the small is 99 cents and the large is 150.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
Right.
I don't have not one question.
And that's because of years of, size.
Well, yeah, you just go more,
more.
therefore more money.
Yes.
Bigger, more money. Okay,
Yeah.
but you know what? Fair. Now here's where it gets confusing.
Yes.
When I do this and go Starbucks small,
Yeah.
$3.99, diner small, 99 cents.
Ooh.
And you go beep, and the whistles start
Yep.
blowing and the radar,
You're like,
the alarm goes off.
save money, but I don't know, must have flavor.
Well, no, but you just go, but small and small.
small.
I don't
Yeah,
understand. And then
yeah.
Starbucks goes, yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah. Right.
The small here
Yeah.
is
Ethically sourced, whatever.
everything. You know,
Everything,
and for some people it lines up, and for some people it does
It
not.
doesn't, yeah.
And that's fine.
fine,
I don't
yeah.
want the diners to close their doors because
Yeah.
Starbucks exists.
Correct.
I don't want
Yes.
a jazz quartet
Yeah.
who charges less money to stop playing music just because someone else charges more. Do your damn thing. But the consumers, when you're working, and again, guys, I know this is a squirmy topic for some of you. You're selling your art when you're in business with it, right? So
Yeah.
it's like you have to get comfy with the idea that you're not being rejected
No.
when someone doesn't understand
No.
what you understand.
Exactly.
It's your job as an artist. If you're going to be the one in charge, if you don't have representation who does all that weird muscle work for you,
Right.
I'm independent. I'm fully independent because it was always important to me to be so.
Yep.
I've been represented in the past, and I left it.
And who knows what the future may hold.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. That's the point.
It doesn't matter. But what you have to be able to be comfortable with is how you define your value, how you define your service to the world. And if someone doesn't understand that, if they're not eye to eye with you on that, first of all, it's all right.
Yeah, it's
It
not. It
doesn't mean you
aggression.
stink. It doesn't mean they
Yes.
don't think you're good enough.
Just because someone raised their voice does not mean they're angry at them.
Correct. And some people would never buy a cup of coffee outside the house. They go, why would I buy a cup of coffee for any money when I have a coffee maker at home?
Wait a second. I was in a creamery a few months ago, and this freaking Goomba comes in, and
Racist.
it's just me. I'm Italian, so I could say it. I'm there, and I didn't realize it was cash only. There's only one kid behind the counter, and there's only one me behind the me. And there's an ATM, and I put my debit card in, I get my $20, and I'm like, I'm getting my fucking ice cream. This random ass dude comes in. He's like lurking by the door. Now it's just us. I'm like with the kid, like we've made the eye contact. We've giggled a bunch. We kind of go. Our attention goes to this guy. He goes, cash only. What kind of place doesn't have credit cards? And I said, a local place.
Right.
I was feeling funky.
Saucy?
I was feeling funky. So, with a smile on my face,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
smiling at him too,
Yeah.
because I'm like, who is this Goomba?
Yeah. You're yes-anding him.
I was yes-anding it, and I'm like, because I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. Because here's the scenario. This grown-ass man, way older than I, is in an ice cream parlor.
Yeah, right.
So it's already Comedy
yeah,
Central, TM. But
no affiliation.
no affiliation. So he's going, what kind of place? And like the first words out of his fucking mouth, what kind of place doesn't have take credit card? And I said, a local place, because my whole thing with disarming is like, logic, here it is, truth. Like,
Right.
open your mind, motherfucker, kind of
Right.
thing. And I'm not trying to school him or anything. And he goes, what does he say? Something like, in my line of work, we converted to credit cards 10 years ago.
Right.
And I, like a download from the universe, was like, ask him what he does for a living. Mind you, by the way, because at this point I had already said, here's an ATM, And I said to him, and I waved my 20. I said, I actually just did it because this kid was young, and I didn't, just in case this kid was sensitive. Again, it's not my task, but I liked this kid.
Yeah.
He was young. I wanted to protect him. If this one random guy came in shouting, by the way,
Yeah.
I wanted to protect him and stand up for this kid in this business. It's not even my business. He already knows there's an ATM. He goes, my business converted to credit card years ago. I said, what do you do? Or I said, what's your line of work? And he goes, jewelry.
Right.
And I, in my head,
You know that
said,
thing that doesn't sell anything for $1.99?
I said, I said this. I said, so you're dealing with hefty numbers then. I was just trying to paint the reality. And it's so funny, this exchange. People might be like, this reminds me of like Kelly and Marco, because whenever Kelly says something brazen in public, Marco's always like, Kelly, shh. Like, you're going to embarrass me.
Homer
I'm just
Simpsons
going
himself through the
Homer
bushes.
Simpsons himself. Which, sometimes, yes, I totally agree.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
I would
there's-
say all the times it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's
so
funny.
anyone in that, it must be a Cosentino thing. They come, most anyone, if they heard this conversation, I think the kid behind the counter too was Homer Simpson himself inside the bush. And then he wound up laughing. I disarmed him.
The customer.
I had disarmed the customer, and he wound up giggling about something and his wife, and then he points to a bench that looks like a cow, really cool piece of furniture, and he goes, He goes, how much for that? He goes, how much for that? And then it became funny. But if I
Still got to pay cash for it, by the way.
yeah, but I think I
Yeah.
said, but it's cash.
Yeah,
I had to have said that because there
Right.
was a button on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I said, he goes, I'm good. And he was about to dismiss. I said, I'll get your ice. Oh, no. Sorry, I remember incorrectly. I actually did not take on the task of being a people pleaser. I was very tempted to pay for this man's ice cream. It would have been, I was just going to say, the old self was going, it would have been nice to pay for the, no, it wouldn't. There's no right, wrong, or nice here. We had our exchange. He is allowed to make his choice that he doesn't want. I don't know what his reasons are, and I am no longer, in my new body and my new mind, gonna bother myself with guessing why people do what they do, choose to give people's business over other businesses. But we had our exchange. It was funny at the end.
Yeah,
and the
it's-
kid cracked up and he goes, "That's actually not the worst that's come in here." And I went, "What?" At the top of my lungs, I screamed,
So
"What?"
It's interesting. This story is actually very poignant in a lot of ways to the topic of the show, to the episode, because you sensed that someone's resistance
Yeah.
to the policies of the store,
Yeah,
creating a discomfort.
yeah,
So the teenager who's scooping the ice cream
Yeah.
is going, "Oh shit, this guy's going to give me a hard time."
Yeah.
Because of the policy of the store, and I don't know what to do to smooth this over. I don't want to lose the customer for the store,
Right,
But
yeah.
I also don't want to look like we're inferior here.
yeah,
This is what happens every time someone gives you resistance to what you view.
It puts you
as-
on your heels.
It puts you on your heels, and
Yeah.
it kind of puts you in a submissive
yes.
position when.
Whereas you were like, "I thought I priced myself fine."
Well, the truth of the matter is, I think here's the truth: is that gentleman, the customer,
Right.
what he was really saying,
Yes.
if we were liar,
Yeah.
he's saying, I don't have any cash on me,
And
all I wanted was to swing in and out of an ice cream
Swing
store,
in and out.
just I don't want to make this a thing.
And instead, he made it about. He actually said when I offered the ATM, he said, "But there's a $2 vig on that."
it's a thing.
And
It's a whole narrative.
The ice cream itself is he in his head is probably like, I could buy another ice cream with that $2 at my my burnt ass coffee at the 99-cent. That was his value.
His value,
system. My
exactly.
value system was like, I'll have the $7.50 ice cream, please. Thank you.
Look, yeah, sure, but there have been many times you as a consumer
Yeah.
get to decide that. And I'm going to say this to all the artists listening. There have been times in your lives where you've been that consumer, where you see the price of something,
Yes.
and you go, not today.
Me. I have been in need of, by the way, cash, and I look at an ATM, and I do not
You're not feeling it.
I do not think that is solving me a problem.
Right.
Instead, I go, nah, you know what? Fuck that.
It's causing a problem.
Fuck that ATM.
Yeah.
It's going to charge me $2. It's going to charge me $2. No way.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Why? Now ATMs don't scare me as much. If I need cash, the ATM is going, "Hi, I was invented for a certain reason, but because I was invented, there's a $2 vig. Use the machine if you need the cash."
Yeah, if you need the cash.
But then it's up to you. You have to understand the truth of the value, the value equation. Hold yourself accountable. This is what I'm saying. Hold yourself, instead of blaming the machine for the $2 vig, hold yourself accountable for your value equation that you created very swiftly, mind you. That guy meant what he really meant, but he didn't want to kind of admit was, I really just wanted to swing in and out of here.
That was the experience he wanted to have.
Correct. Now, he could have just said to me, when I said ATM, he could have said, I'm in a rush.
Yeah.
That is yes-anding for a customer. That is yes anding your true emotional self. Him. That's him yes anding his true emotional self. Instead, he went, let me go the road, which is, ATMs are too expensive. Me, bye. And it's like, wait.
But see, I feel like you're being judgmental toward him in that a little bit.
No, I'm just acting him.
Oh, because you were doing the me. So I thought like you
No,
were
I said
saying
meh,
like,
meh.
No, I know. I thought you were like painting him as like this crybaby.
But he did.
But
But that was his. I was just giving you. I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but that was just his body language. I actually have no judgment toward this guy,
Right.
Because I knew what you knew, and
Right.
I knew again, and I knew it from the moment. You're this mafioso. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Who walked into a? You didn't walk into a gun store.
Right.
You walked into an ice cream store.
Yeah.
You're. A,
there's a there's a
You're a
very
sensitive
cartoony
guy.
comedy thing here.
I'm not even kidding. I literally just last weekend shot a short film with that same premise.
Really?
I'm not even fucking kidding.
That is so funny.
Not even lying.
It is in the ether, and we are grabbing that ether. But perhaps I did not clarify and calm. You said, "Well, that's judgmental." Is there anything else you can clarify around that?
No, but no. I think I understand. Yeah,
You
no,
get
I
it now?
understand.
Okay. And we can.
The reason I brought this story up,
Yeah.
as in closing, let's combine our stories. So
Fine.
here we go. Now I want to speak to the kid who is scooping ice cream right now,
Yeah.
and the creamery.
Okay.
It's all right that guy walked out without buying ice cream.
Yeah, it is.
It's fine.
It's fine.
He didn't.
He wasn't going to buy it anyway.
He created his
Yeah.
own expectation
Yeah. Yeah.
that
yes.
whatever you guys do,
No matter what
just
you
so
do.
happened to not have lined up.
That's it.
The story ends there.
That's-
Do your thing.
Yes.
Keep making awesome ice cream.
Don't tell a bad don't. Yeah.
When that guy's ready,
He's not
he's
a
going to
villain.
show up again with a $20 bill.
Exactly.
So
He's not a villain.
Artists, when you present your art to the world and you want someone to consume it, and they offer you any kind of resistance,
Yeah.
just know that it's not you. You are fine. You are more than enough. Your art is beautiful. Your art is valuable. Don't forget it.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks. That
Thanks,
was a
Kat.
huge story.
Awesome.
All right.
High
Yes,
five.
Anthem. See you guys
See you
later.
guys next week.